is where the presentation lacks in providing immediate resources. This is terrain you really do have to navigate on your own. But I would like to say that I'm going to share some things that people might not have thought of yet. So please don't be discouraged by what isn't possible and consider what is in this topic called housing supports. When we talk about housing support, we want to talk about how to access support, how to overcome housing challenges, and consider what resources are available to help with rent. The key to accessing housing is to start with the Department of Social Services in the county where you are located. They can point you to the coordinated entry site in your county. Another resources to tap into is 211. You can do that on your phone, or you can do that by going to nc211.org. Now, coordinated entry is a system in every state which assesses an individual or family's need for housing and connects those persons to housing resources. Those who are assessed as having the highest vulnerability and housing barriers will be prioritized for access to available housing programs as vacancies occur. They can assist with finding temporary housing and programs to support you in finding permanent housing in your community. And as I mentioned, you can go to your Department of Social Services to ask for the number for coordinated entry. You can go to the National Coalition to End Homelessness for a list of coordinated entry sites by county. And you can also tap into 211 or nc211.org for assistance to get you started. Now, is owning a home possible? Yes, it is. You may qualify for a variety of housing programs and you don't even realize it. There are several organizations with programs across the state that will help families secure home ownership. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, offers housing counselors. You can reach them through this link, which hopefully you will have access to, or a simple Google search. Some support housing counselors provide, some support that housing counselors provide include, but is not limited to, home buying workshops, financial management counseling, homelessness services, and pre-purchase home buying counseling. We previously mentioned 211. This service can help you find options for paying your rent as well as other services to meet your needs. Some other resources on this page is the Self-Help Credit Union. It's because traditional lending favors the wealthy, but self-help focuses on families in the bottom half of the economy. They want to help families who have great character and who would succeed if they only had a loan. Habitat for Humanity partners with people in your community and all over the world to help them build or improve a place they can call home. Habitat homeowners help build their own homes alongside volunteers and pay an affordable mortgage. The mission is faith-based to demonstrate the love of Jesus Christ by bringing people together to build homes, but they do not proselytize or try to convert individuals to a faith in Christ as a condition of their service. The NC Housing Finance Agency is a great agency that you should connect to through your local real estate agent. And if you don't have a real estate agent, I suggest and invite you to find one. They provide safe, affordable housing to enhance the quality of life for all of NC. The North Carolina or the NCHFA provides financing to local governments and nonprofit organizations to build and rehabilitate homes for low wealth North Carolinians. Their programs also offer mortgage financing and energy efficient subsidies for home ownership production, as well as financing for vital repairs and rehabilitation and accessibility modifications. A real estate agent you can trust can point you in the right direction for affordable housing units. I know here and in many places across the state, gentrification is real. Housing costs are exploding, but there are options. There are options. Mechanics and Farmers Bank They have a free online financial literacy seminar, which assists you when considering homeownership. They are plain language and they are fast paced. Operation Hope has in person first time home ownership workshops, credit and money management workshops, small business workshops with a focus on minorities, but have a financial literacy for all, that's the FL for all campaign, a first time homebuyer program, and through group education sessions, a HUD certified financial well being coach teaches you information you need to be a first time homebuyer. There's a couple more resources here, such as single family housing direct loans with the U.S. Department of Rural Development. It's actually the U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Development, where they purchase or build with no money down in eligible rural areas. And this is for those with a low or very low income. Now, this might sound very off-putting to people who are from the suburbs or are used to city life, but this could be a very, very reasonable way to achieve home ownership, especially when land prices are so much less expensive in many rural areas. Family Promise is, oh, nope, that was it, excuse me. Moving on. Now, of course, what do you need to own a home, right? You need to create a budget and consider, do I need a better paying job? Shop for a loan lender, choose a mortgage. So you can choose a mortgage and pre-qualify. You also need to know your credit score and you have to count the cost of buying a home, such as if you buy a single family home, what kind of land is it on? Will you need to garden it? Will you need to landscape it? What kind of internal and external costs will you incur? It also is important to understand things such as insulation for your windows and your doors that will help to that will either increase or diminish your monthly expenses. And so all of those things are very important when considering buying a home. Also, what are the upfront costs? A lot of times there is a down payment required, but sometimes there is none. So you can look at 0 to 20% for a down payment, 2 to 5% for closing costs, and $200 to $600 for inspections. And sometimes people can, um, sometimes houses are being sold as is, but you might still want to get an inspection so you know what you're walking into as far as renovation costs are concerned. Other things to consider are the ongoing costs, mortgage payments, private mortgage insurance, maintenance and repairs, utilities, homeowner associations. If there's a homeowners association, which is also known as an HOA, in the area you're interested in moving into, and also the yearly real estate taxes that help pay for many things in your local community, as including the cost of school. And so while it might seem like those things are daunting when you're considering a home ownership, it is so important to tap into a real estate agent because a real estate agent will help you make the moves that you need in order to set the path for towards home ownership. It may not be possible right now. It may not even be possible in 6 months. But if you talk with a real estate agent, they can definitely create a path that says, this is what you need to do first. And these are the steps that we're going to take. And these are the programs that we can tap you into to get that down payment, to help with rental assistance until you can make the moves that you need to buy a home. I will state one more thing that I feel is really important, and that is mindset. Mindset is one of the biggest barriers to home ownership. You have to know that you can have a home, that it is possible. And so I invite you, despite your situation, to sit down with someone, with a real estate agent or even a mortgage lender that you know, or that don't just go online and Google somebody. find somebody you know, somebody who's purchased a home and was satisfied with their real estate agent or their mortgage lender, and have a conversation with somebody that will move you in that direction. This is a challenging conversation to have when you're looking for a place to live, but I encourage you that this could be the next best step to keep you in a home. Now, helping to find funds for rent. This is really challenging because you start by going to your local Department of Social Services. And unfortunately, there's often a lot that they can't do. You can also try 211. Again, Aunt Bertha could possibly be a resource in finding a place to live and securing funds for rent. TANF, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, is also it's often a benefit that's associated with your SNAP benefits that can help with funding with helping to pay for rent. The homeless education liaisons in the public schools, there are several school systems that will provide help, temporary help to pay for a hotel stay and for a family that's in transition. If you're not a member of a local church, you can definitely become a member of a local church and try to access their resources, or you can just call around. That's something I've done where I've just gotten a list of organizations, gotten on Google, typed in churches and just started calling to see who would help me despite not being a member of their organization. Um, Sometimes your childcare program has resources that they can tap into, and also child protective services. Again, we're on the cusp of a new day where more and more disparities are in our community as far as housing. And so more is being done, and that may not help you in this moment. So I just want to encourage you once again to realize that your housing situation is not a reflection of your internal value. And while it is a very challenging time for you and your family, I just want to encourage you that even though it's not here yet, that help is being designed to make things easier, to make things more accessible. People are working for your best future. And I say that being among being among them, despite the situation that I'm currently in. I would like to throw out some resources that I like. Um, and again, there's not a lot. I did participate in a real estate seminar by Movement Mortgage, which motivated me to keep trying and to just know that there are organizations out there that can help, that are trying to help. In Wake County, they have a bridge to home program where Wake County actually hired a liaison that works with families, and they have people who are going out and talking to landlords, who are talking to property management companies and saying, we're trying to get families housed. These are the benefits that we're offering. These are the incentives that we're offering participating in our program. What can you do to help? Would you like to participate? These are the qualifications you need to go through. Um, and that is actually an award-winning program for its development and implementation. Wake County is extremely proud of it, simply for getting involved on the county level. Um, and then you could also try private fundraising. It really helps if you have a third person that is able to do this for you. You can try a GoFundMe. PayPal has an interesting platform because they allow a 30-day fundraiser for only up to $20,000. So it's not like you can run off with a ton of money if people support. And there's also Facebook. Facebook has fundraisers as well. Um, Green Path Financial Wellness. It's important to get your financial house in order, to understand your money traumas. And so they have free financial counseling. And I would just encourage you that your future is bright, and all these resources combined will lead you to your best life. In this moment right now, it's important to just hold on to that hope. And if you don't have that, then I encourage you to seek help. Talk to someone you trust to get the support that you need.